Tori, what day is it?
It's Friday.
You're supposed to say Baller Friday, Tori. I'm not the hype dude. You're supposed to be the hype man.
Oh, sorry. I'm not. I don't believe in basketball. I mean, I know it's a thing, but no. It's SmackDown Friday though. We can all be happy about that. I mean, I'm sure.
By the way, if y'all haven't noticed yet, in the top right corner,
There's a
it is
QR
a
code up there, folks.
yeah. Go hit that real quick. It's easy for you to just get your phone on you if you're on your TV. If you want to just hit that QR code. Just hit that snap button and go there.
Yeah,
Get
I was gonna say, snap the
that.
QR code. The corner of people see what kind of crazy stuff you'll find.
Yeah. And remember to like and
I
subscribe, y'all.
promise it's not a link to Zelmay's OnlyFans, unless it is, and then I'm sorry.
Maybe that might sell more.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh, I lose this gut for it. Y'all know what I'm saying? Y'all say y'all pay it. I will lose this gut. I'll tell you right now. Let's go. But
No, bro, keeping the gut might be the money, bro. But
get,
that's a casual conversation. This is just a fan wrestling.
we might do casual conversation. There's a lot going on this week, so we might do an extra. If this episode not long, we'll do an extra.
We'll see.
But
Play it by ear.
for people that don't know, y'all see the title. AEW had another blade botch where they blatantly showed the referee handing the blade to was it
Two,
Rush? Oh,
two.
Rush.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. I thought we were talking about Takeshita getting caught blading.
He did
Freaking
too, didn't he?
yeah, that was the same night. The
Oh
night
yeah,
that
no,
MJ,
it was the cash. It was two cash. It was just Brian Danielson came later on and fought Rush. That's all.
yeah, I was going to say Brian Daniel, but yeah, Takeshita, the ref handing him the blade. They even caught him blading. Like it's at the very end. You can go look on the YouTube if you pay attention, people. It's the clip from the MJF Takeshita match at the very end when MJF hits him with the ring. They go for an aerial shot to sort of show MJF like standing on the turn post, admonishing the crowd, whatever you want to call it. But in that, you actually see Takeshita cutting himself with the blade. Like, bruh. I hate being the hating ass nigga that has to be like, because I like blood in wrestling as long as it's not overdone. I don't think Takeshita should have bled if we knew Brian Danielson was gonna bleed this same night. That's the shit that I be sound like an old hater for. I don't think we need to have blood in every one of these matches. If we knew Brian Danielson, arguably the greatest wrestler in the world, fucking was planning on getting juice tonight, why is Takeshita doing it? You know what I mean? And I hate it because I loved that match up until that point. Takeshita versus MJF almost got match of the week from me. Because it was a good fucking match, aside from fucking and this is the thing, it's come to a point where I'm not even blaming it on the wrestlers anymore. You got to get different cameramen, TK. If your cameramen aren't good enough to know that their lens shouldn't be on a nigga mid-blade, get a new one.
This it's a lot of AEW stands. I'm gonna call y'all stands. Y'all basically almost shields at this point. I
I
love Grant.
got extra weed for this. I was so stressed about these fucking razor blades.
Y'all almost at shield level for AEW. Because Reg came on, who complains about the unrealistic of Bray Wyatt. Oh no, he said he can't wrestle, which is a fair point. But if you believe that, he had some good matches. The Fiend version did not have good matches. I give you that. But in the outside of realism, but you be like, oh, it's a TV show. Which Nyla Rose came on and said,
people talk about immersion breaks. If there's no bigger immersion break than fucking somebody cutting themselves in front of you.
Listen, this is the arguments out there. First argument, I'm gonna let Gerald speak. Introducing Gerald. That's Gerald at the bottom. I'm gonna make this first example. Then I'm gonna make a bunch of examples of things I said. Nyla Rose said Game of Thrones had a star buzz because people made a meme for a week and moved on. We made a meme of John Moxley last week and we moved on, but then it happened again. And I wouldn't use season 8 of Game of Thrones to be the pillar that I'm going on. That season is universally hated. And most people they didn't even try and they don't even like the season. So unless you're saying your show is getting to that point where y'all don't even care no more, that people can just lose immersion and don't care. By the way, Viewership went down again. It's in 800,000s again after you worked so hard to get it back in a million.
But I would shoot them some bail because even though it has, I looked at the ratings, and even though their ratings have dropped, they've still consistently placed in the top 5 shows on TV show on Wednesday. So I'm gonna give them, I'm shooting a little bit of bail on that because
I'm not
that show
going
was
against it.
good.
I'm just saying I'm not going
Yeah,
against nobody
no,
but them.
yeah, I know,
You
but
doing worse than you did previously. While the
yeah,
other company,
but
which
they're
we will
still
talk about now, is sort of on the rise compared to what they was a few months ago.
And Tori, I'm gonna go against you on one thing because, and it's actually gonna compliment you on another because they are on Wednesday nights. But you said something a couple podcasts back that said the CM Punk effect.
yeah, they,
And that might be something. They haven't had great ratings since he left.
that's true. It's hard for them to cross that million barrier without CM Punk. But they've done it since him. But I feel like I see what you're saying. It's hard. It's way harder to do it consistently without having this mainstay like actual well-known face. You can have all the greatest wrestlers in the world, but if there's no face for the company, then what can you do?
If your main guy, and can y'all see my camera
Yep,
It's
doing this,
it's
and y'all can see, I'm not interested in wrestling no more because you're showing me that it's fake.
that
John
part.
Moxley right here, right there, in the camera, and I'm like this. My messed up camera. He right here and doing that. That's your main guy. So, yep, I'm just gonna blade. Let me blade real quick. Oh shoot, man, I got cut open. Oh,
I don't blame Takeshi as much because they try to
Yeah,
hide it.
yeah. I don't blame Takeshita as
I'm
much.
not gonna.
John Moxley's a
Shout this
blatant
out.
fucking case though. John
Yeah,
Moxley, I've seen him blade. I've watched him not hide the razor blade after he's bladed. Fucking, he just don't give a fuck. And we in the AEW stands are willing to let that shit ride. They're okay with that immersion break. But fuck that. How's this your world champion when he can't even fucking cut himself without getting caught?
My problem is that it keeps happening. That's my biggest problem. Last week I made it a meme, made it a thing, and that's cool. Now it happened again. Now another argument they said is I don't even pay attention to the show. That's good for you. That's great for you. I am a detail oriented person. It might not bother you. It bothers me.
It
And if
bothers the fuck out of me. I
if I'm a
can't
detail
stand
oriented
that
person
shit.
and it bothers me, you shouldn't say you need to get over it because I will get over it and I'll stop watching the same way I stopped watching Game
But
of
think
Thrones.
we're the consistent viewers here, bruh. We are that fucking core audience that they're so worried about fucking keeping.
It
And like,
bothers.
think about
You
how
don't have
much
to.
disbelief we suspend every fucking week we decide to watch this television show because we love the medium. This is like spitting in our fucking faces in a way. Like, come on.
And it goes back to and you know TV shows fake. I'm like, yes, but they don't blatantly be like it's fake unless that's part of the show. Like if I watch House and House, like I'm really not that smart. I'm just playing like it's on TV. You'll get offended. Like what? You brought up
Bruh.
Game of Thrones. Nyla Rose brought up Game of Thrones. Oh, that took me out of the show. I didn't want to watch it. I'm like,
Yeah,
this
I was gonna
TV is
say
terrible. Y'all
we're
not
not gonna act like we didn't. We roasted Game of Thrones for that fucking Starbucks cup, destroyed them. I'm still, and I'm a Song of Ice and Fire stan. Like I'm a George R. R. Martin stan, damn near. I read every book the man's ever written. Fucking even the superhero shit, like the Burning Aces and shit. I read all of that shit. But bruh, fuck that show. That cup was the nail in the coffin, the final nail. There were plenty of other nails in the coffin, but that fucking cup was it. Don't get me started on the ending. Damn, you really were. We almost turned this into casual conversations, bringing Game of Thrones into it. But back to
that
wrestling.
was the example she used to like give it bad.
I know that was
That's
the
a
example.
horrible
That was the
example.
example she used. Fucking,
That's
but
a
that was a
horrible
bad,
example.
horrible example.
We hated that show. Like, oh, they only cared about it a week. Yes, because we basically stopped watching. Did you see the viewership drop?
hmm
Is that what you
Tremendously during season 7 and 8. The fucking viewership tanked after 6 seasons of glory.
Yeah, so is that what
6 seasons of breaking record. You went dead for the final 2.
By the
But
way,
that
for y'all that hate
that's
that,
partially
say it
George's fault though, because he didn't have books for them. They had to go on the fly. How are they going to finish somebody else's story? And why would he give them the ending if he ain't even fucking ready to roll it out himself? We've been waiting 10 years for the book before the last book. Come on, we've been waiting over 10 years. It's actually been 12.
Tori, we gotta get back on wrestling. Catch a
Yeah,
conversation.
damn. I was gonna say, yeah, back to wrestling. Fucking get me talking about dragons. We know how this goes.
But again, when you're saying that that you should get over it. That's the thing I saw a lot of them say. You should just
And
get
I
over
say,
it.
fuck you.
Show get over it. I could say that you should have did the same thing with WWE and social your intelligence. I wasn't saying get over it then either. I'm like, yo, this is stupid. Why are you telling us that you're gonna do something and then blatantly disrespect us?
Yeah,
Vince McMahon booked a horrible show. Tori, no, Tori, what I used to do to Raw. I'm like,
I didn't even watch the shit for the
it's
longest time.
background noise. Raw was literally background noise out of habit.
It really was.
And by the time we got a better Raw product, even if it wasn't perfect, we didn't talk about on this show. It had plenty of times it wasn't perfect. We're gonna talk about in a minute.
Oh yeah, there were more than a few times. Raw has been trashed many times over the years. We're not gonna argue that one way or the other.
But we said if Vince
we
come back into that crap he was doing,
we gave Vince shit for that.
It ain't even gonna be background noise.
I wish death on Vince McMahon before, bruh. Like, believe me, I was harder on. I ain't even done that to old TK yet. Thank goodness, thank goodness Vince is taking the back seat at least, so I can take away my wishes. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, I keep the same energy across the board, whether I like the fucking product or not. Because if it's a product I like, I'm going to expect something from it.
Yeah, just get over the fact that when Vince was booking, he did the same match every week.
And I do like. I want to sprinkle this with saying I think I can speak for all of us when we say there are definitely parts of AEW that all of us like. It's no. I don't think anyone here on this podcast just hates AEW across the board.
So you almost did.
Damn. Shut up. I'm just saying I can find redeeming parts about it. I think
wrestling wise is what I was gonna say earlier.
But he's got a point. I am a step away from a hate watcher, quite literally. I'm a step away from being a hate watcher.
It's probably up the Nim and New Japan. It's better than WWE. But one thing I will say, WWE has very vastly increased in wrestling.
Oh yeah, Triple H is if Triple H don't win Booker of the Year 2023, this shit's rigged, bruh. Because the only reason Triple H didn't win Booker of the Year last year is because he came in halfway through. If he books all of 2023 like he booked the last half of 2022, he's Booker of the Year, no doubt in my mind.
But pure wrestling wise, AEW is up there. Did y'all watch Wednesday? That was amazing.
Oh yeah, the whole show. That's why I shot him bail. That's why I shot him bail on the ratings, even though they did drop to the 800,000 range, 889, I do believe. But it was an amazing show wrestling wise. The matches were fucking good. I didn't even hate the Chris Jericho spot, and I hate Chris Jericho, but I didn't hate the Chris Jericho spot.
End the feud on time.
But are we going to talk about how do you guys feel about the Guns being your AEW Tag Team Champions?
I don't.
They're transitional champs, right? Like this is just we're going to get FTR back for a couple of months before they're done, and fucking they're going to take the belts off of these kids before they leave, right?
I don't have no clue. I don't trust their storytelling, but normally I would like give it a chance, but I don't really.
Yeah, the Guns is a weird choice for me. Like, unless they're transitional champs, unless there's somebody else, and the only person that's had any real problems with the Guns has been FTR. But if you're to believe Dax, which I never want to believe a wrestler because they're paid to lie, but he says they're not touching no place. They're not going nowhere until fucking their contracts are up in April, then they're going to make a decision. So
Gerald,
I was just because I didn't expect it at all. I didn't expect the Guns to beat the Acclaimed at all.
That's why I liked it. Of course, I wasn't watching it, and I think I might be the biggest AEW hater. It's just I'm not as vocal about it. It's hard for me to watch the product because if the only person on your roster that I like is Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole, and I rarely see Adam Cole, it's just kind of tough for me. I like that the AEW for a minute has been a little predictable.
A little?
More than a little.
Okay, I was going to say more than a little predictable.
More than a little predictable.
But that's not a bad thing. I don't think we should preface that being a bad thing.
Yeah, we're not going to be because Cody Rhodes
kind of gets bad.
Because if it's shit that we want to happen, I'm perfectly fine with it being predictable.
Sami Zayn turning on Roman, Cody.
Yeah, that was
I
predictable. I'm
Cody
fine with
Monday.
that. I love that.
I did like
That's
the fact they added that Jay Uso thing that I didn't expect, so that's a little different.
Yeah, but see, and that's why I'm like that. I like unpredictable because I wasn't expecting, your babyface hot, white hot tag team to lose the titles like that. But that makes you have to watch the show. Like business wise, it was smart. I, I mean, the guns, but I mean, somebody is, like it's any given Sunday. That's how I like my wrestling. Like, oh, okay, you can beat them. Like, oh, okay, they can be beat. You know, I I like I don't like the guns having it, but I like the idea that your favorite team can lose. I always like that. Like it's something about that. Like when Brock was winning for a minute, I stopped watching. You know, Roman's winning all the time, but he funny when he see. So I like seeing Roman. It's just I didn't mind it, and I don't mind it.
I'm
Love
back.
yeah, we lost for it. Love that tag team. Guns, nope, I don't like. But give me something. Give me an any given Sunday, scenario. I'm cool with
That is true. I didn't mind it. I was like, I agree with Gerald in a certain way. I don't know I don't know if I trust the story they're telling, but we'll see. Like I
it. That's
said,
the only thing. Yeah.
I also want to bring up this. I want to ask Gerald opinion in the Taurus. Chris Jericho, even shout out to Grabster. Like I said, I love Grabster. By the way, I just had that issue. Like y'all do be shilling sometimes for AEW. Y'all will criticize WWE, and then AEW did the same thing. Y'all like it don't matter. Then y'all pretend like, oh, if WWE did it. I'm like, bro, you can't do the same thing and do that hypocrisy thing because it doesn't really work.
Yeah, it don't make.
Yeah.
But I do love them boys. Grabster is an amazing show on Fightful. But they did bring up why does Chris Jericho doesn't know how to end a feud, and why in the world, if Ricky Starks beat Chris Jericho, does he have to go through 5 people to face him? Bro, I
Yeah.
beat you twice in a row. Why are we still going in a
Why
round?
would I run a gauntlet to get at you for a third time? That don't make no sense.
And
Chris
Ricky
Jericho just
Starks.
does this. That's why he's so annoying. I'm like, bro, why do I?
No,
Why
but
is it
I
always a
think this is
gauntlet with him
more.
too?
I think this is more fucking like Tony
Him and
Khan's
MJF does this a
booking.
lot.
I feel
Him
like
and
this is
MJF go through gauntlets every time. I'm like, bro, okay, you can't. You just rehashing the same story.
you don't think that's more of a TK booking thing, like with the eliminator matches and all
It
of
is
this other.
because I'm like,
Like
this is worse than this is worse than
Jericho
them
can be
using
a
MJF.
fucking.
MJF
He
is
is
the champ.
definitely a victim of the bad booking. There ain't no. We're not gonna argue that one way or another. Jericho's been booked bad in AEW. We know that, but he's done a whole bunch of the bad stuff himself too. So it's kind of hard to feel for him either way.
Like, listen, bro, why is
But
like
I wish
Ricky
he'd
Starks beat
retire
this man? Why is he going through a gun? And I'm like, I beat you. I don't have to wrestle you no more.
twice.
And then MJF at the same time you doing this gun and MJF putting people through gauntlets. I'm like, why are we having 2 gauntlets at the same time?
That's my problem. That goes back to what I was saying about the blading. Why is Takeshita bleeding if Brian Danielson's going to bleed against Bruce? Why?
TK, please learn how to figure out another way besides gauntlets to book a heel.
Yeah, bro. They
I'm
can't
getting
just
tired of
be.
gauntlets. Make
We
a
can only
story.
pay so many niggas. We can only pay so many niggas to. Hey, I need you to come on here and eat this L so fucking we can hold it off till the pay per view. Like we gotta expound
Archer coming
somewhere.
soon and we know it because he got to be one of the paid people.
Who?
Archer.
What? No, wait. You think? I thought they were done until Revolution, or you think no? Because yeah, Revolution's still a little bit away. Yeah, Lance Archer would. Low key, Lance Archer versus Brian Danielson could be a banger.
He always has to bring him every time, and that's the only time he used on the show when he's using a gauntlet for somebody.
I was going to say, when somebody paid, because this won't be the first time he's been paid to fucking nigga up.
They
When
said
Jake the
Miro's
Snake,
supposed to do that too, and I'm like, Miro, like, I'm not
when
doing that.
when Jake the Snake was his manager, he was getting paid for Lance Archer to mop all kinds of niggas.
And he'd always lose. I'm like, he's the worst hitman ever.
Yeah, he don't never get the job done. For being
It's
the
a
murder hawk monster, he doesn't do a whole lot of murdering, but he does do a whole lot of harm.
even when MJF was tried to injure Brian Danielson, it was MJF did most of the work after Lance Archer.
Yeah. Yeah,
But that's all.
I like that little touch though. MJF going out throwing the salt of the earth on Danielson. I'm ready for Revolution for that one match. I'm not gonna lie. I think Bryan Danielson versus MJF can fuck around and be a match of the year candidate easily.
It's so.
Especially
I think off the
especially after what, like, did y'all see MJF in that match with Takeshita? This nigga is clean in the ring. No arguments. Everything's tuned tight and fucking just good.
I saw an argument, and this is gonna kind of lead into what I said. It's hard. It's MJF. They try to compare it to the Cody Rhodes segment. I'm like, it does not compare. It's a dope story. It's an amazing promo, by the way.
Yeah,
It is not
it's a good.
that Cody Rhodes Paul Heyman thing, so I don't know what they
No,
want to do. It's unfair to that.
that shit
It's
was
unfair to that too,
different.
'cause it's unfair. That was a amazing promo. And then I
Yo,
compare
plus
all of them to
Paul
Roman
Heyman
Reigns.
tearing up at
Roman
the end.
Reigns on heel right now is on some different level. I saw a
Yeah,
TikTok. I sent y'all a tour. They said he's not even a heel. He's a villain at this point.
yeah. Well, a
He's
heel is a villain though.
beyond wrestling. That heat he gets is so insane. And when in Montreal, you gonna see that Shawn Michaels level of heel.
Oh yeah, especially when Sammy loses, it's gonna be the cacophony of boos that are gonna come down from Montreal could rival the screw job, bro. Let's be honest.
It's gonna be nuts.
I hope they find a way to recreate some screw job style thing with Jey Uso.
Something.
That would be wild, bro.
I don't know what they can do though, but I hope they figure it out because I've been.
Yeah, I
shocked.
don't know how the whole Hitman HBK scenario plays out between Sammy and Roman Reigns. But if anyone could
I
figure,
did have a thought though, Tor. Jey Uso like ring the bell and Sammy think he won.
oh yeah, but that's
I don't know. Though.
I
I'm trying
don't
to work.
think. I'd rather you give me something different. I don't need the screw job callback in this situation. It'd be different if Sammy was the defending champion. Then the screw job presents itself easily. You know what I mean?
But that crowd think he won the match, and they celebrate, and they find out he didn't.
We'll see. We'll see. That could work, but it all depends on how they get to it.
But the thing is, I want Jay got to be involved because Jay has to.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying because if Jay's got to be involved, then you got to think that means Solo and Jimmy have to be involved too. Paul Heyman might even have a spot in there. Who's to say? You couldn't see Cody Rhodes running a hope spot for Sami Zayn somewhere in this just to build a little bit towards Mania.
Cody.
He already planted the seed by calling Sami Zayn his friend and everything during the promo. You know what I mean? I can definitely see Mr. Rhodes running some form of interference for Sammy leading into this match or during the match.
I need Cody to just be like best man wins. Stay out of.
No, I don't know, bro. But remember,
you taking a risk.
Paul Heyman made it personal.
I know, but you taking a real risk putting them next to Sammy.
No,
Normally, I'd be like, bruh, if the crowd see them together,
most time I would side with you, and I'd say keep them niggas away from each other. There's no reason to cross. Okay, see, when you put it like that, respecting the brand split, I agree. But I'm just saying. They go
side by side, Tori. I don't know.
But that wouldn't be good in Canada, anyways.
But I'm just saying.
I mean, as far as if
especially if they screw Sammy.
I'm just saying if say it happens, say Solo's trying to come out, and we just see a moment in the back of Cody stopping Solo, or it doesn't have to be him coming down to the ring and squaring off with the bloodline with Sammy. If anybody, that's a Kevin Owens role, not a Cody Rhodes role. But I'm just saying, because you have to, I feel like you risk more just letting it set and not putting Cody in the situation. Because what if this Roman Sammy shit is next level amazing and it fucking ruins WrestleMania for us because Cody doesn't get a shiver of anything in this lead up, and this is just like crowning moment. Because let's not lie, this could be the dopest elimination chamber ever on paper, even outside of maybe the very first elimination chamber. Because Triple H, RVD. I'm just saying. Yeah, Booker
all I'm
T,
asking is,
bro.
hey, listen, keep
Rey
them two.
Mysterio.
You got two hot baby faces, white hot baby faces right now.
Yeah,
You might
that's the
not want.
key
You
there.
might not
White
want them
hot.
to pick. That's the only thing I don't want. You might not want to choose. Because if they choose the one you don't want, that you kind of don't want right now, it might be more of a problem. That's my. That's my.
That's why I'm saying he doesn't need to like run in and make a save. It can be as simple as him stopping somebody from making it out to the ring from the bloodline. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna be him going out there and playing savior for Sami Zayn in front of the people. That way, fucking, we know Cody fucking felt strongly enough to try and make sure that the fight stayed fair. He said he wanted a fair fight between the best man wins. You know what I mean? So him stopping Solo from going out there, and then you seeing Jimmy and Jay still making it out there. You get to see Jay have the internal turmoil. Jimmy's his brother. Sammy's had his back for all these months now, though. You know what I mean? And I
But
think
Kevin
that
Owens do
way.
got to come out the end to set up the tag, though. So he had to come out to save. So Kevin Owens have to do a save.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So you don't need. Then you have Kevin coming out too. So it could be as simple, like I said, as Cody stopping one person or another from coming out, and then maybe that leads into fucking maybe Cody versus Solo before fucking he gets to Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? That way
But
we're
there's a
sort
lot
of
of
weaving.
intersection too, man. Like, there's a lot of
Yeah,
intersection.
but that's all I'm saying. Like I said, I wasn't trying to say we should have Cody and Sammy, Cody holding Sammy's hand up in
Oh,
fucking Montreal. No,
Vince
that's
would
not
be
what I'm saying
that.
at all.
Vince would 100% book that. And then all of
Oh
a sudden
yeah,
you seeing Cody look at the crowd like the Rock did Roman at the time.
yep,
Why they booing me? That's a terrible experience, sir.
that's
You do not
horrible.
want that.
The Rock was not used to getting booed like that because them wasn't
That
actual. Them was get the fuck out of here boos. Them wasn't.
Tor has
That
he
wasn't.
Tor he's
Oh, you
barely been back
dastardly
since then,
heel
Tor.
boo. Yeah,
Tor Tor the Rock barely
it
been back.
it low key turned him off. Let's be honest.
Like, how many times the Rock been back since then? Once?
Like once
Yeah,
the Ronda shit.
Yeah.
yeah.
They even had a special for the Rock and they gave him a tribute. He didn't show up.
That nigga didn't. Then the nigga ain't pop in. But I feel like that's because, in a way, that's because of us fans. Because The Rock knows if we see him anywhere near WWE, we're gonna think he's coming back. The internet's gonna say that they think he's coming back. And if he really has no intentions of coming back, it might just be better to stay away so you don't automatically get bombarded. Because you know he's already, without him being in any contact with WWE, there's no doubt his DMs are full of like, when are you coming back questions.
Bro, we got people that we actually believe can beat Roman now. And we a few months ago when we all were doing this show, it was like there was nobody.
Yeah, we literally went from I don't see anybody being okay taking the belt from him to now we've actually got 2, maybe 3 people we plausibly
Yeah,
think
that
could get the strap off of him.
we do it, but not right now. But
Yeah, Gunther needs a little bit more time. Hey, did you see the little fatal 4-way that's going on tonight to decide who's going to take on Gunther next? Yo, I might get my Santos Escobar versus Gunther match, and I'm here for it. I think that's going to be a slapper if Santos wins.
Yeah, Santos is amazing.
But it's him. Damn, I feel bad because I can't remember the other people that are in the match, but I just saw Santos Escobar and was like, yo.
He was the most important out of I think Sheamus.
Yeah. I was going to say Sheamus. And don't get me wrong, I watch Sheamus versus Gunther any day of the week. That shit slaps.
I want Santos.
Yeah, Santos Escobar versus Gunther is just because we know how good. Like you can go back to his independent shit. Go watch fucking Walter versus Darby Allin in Progress or in Defy. Those were the dopest underdog matches, bro. Just Darby Allin versus Walter in some seedy fucking warehouse in fucking Portland. You know what I mean? Niggas throwing down. So we know how good, and Santos Escobar isn't super duper small. He's not a raging giant or anything either, but he's so good in the ring. He's good on the promo. Fucking, and like I said, Legado del Fantasma versus fucking Imperium. I'm here for that. And I think Santos is one of those people that can play heel or face either way. I think Santos Escobar would be a slapper of a face just as he is a good heel.
Speaking of, we still got the championship match, which we don't know if Jay's showing up, which is excellent story.
Yeah, I
So
was
now
going
you
to say that's a
got
good story.
Jay showing up to support his brother, or is he gonna leave him out and just not show up at all? So everybody's like, that's a big thing. That's a great added part of the story. Roman don't have to be there for that.
Yeah, I was going to say Roman can sit the night out if he wants to. He ain't even got to. Because, like I said, it's just the Roman and fucking the whole bloodline storyline has been a godsend of a storyline to wrestling. That shit doesn't happen all the time. That's going to go down, regardless of what anybody else thinks. That's going to go down as one of the best storylines that the WWE or WWF ever produced.
Or WCW or AEW.
Or
Look, Roman
New
told
Japan
Vince he's
or
not coming
fucking
back as a face, and he's gonna do his own thing with Paul Heyman. And look what you get. Heel
Yeah.
Roman Reigns actually worked out. Look at.
And here we are, three years into that shit, and we have minimal negative things to say about it. And anything bad we have to say,
he's the villain in 2 storylines.
no, but I'm saying anything bad we have to say about this run happened at the very beginning, and they fixed it.
Well, the Brock Lesnar, even though Roman
The
did
him talking to I'll never forget him talking to Vince about the golden egg that he got from his cousin. Come on, bro, we ain't gonna forget about that.
I did like the fact that I like how Roman responded.
I thought you were gonna say you liked the egg. I was gonna leave this fucking
I like
call.
when he responded. He was like, "You gonna have to pay me way more money," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"That's a villain thing to say."
I agree.
You're like,
But no.
"Oh, that's cool."
This storyline has been amazing.
No, he said, "What he say? The egg is almost worth my next contract."
Yeah, some shit like that. But did you guys see that? Roman's promos are they've been so fucking good, bro. It's just
You
and
take
the
that
whole
mic away from the non-mic promo.
Yeah.
Like he good without a mic.
Bro, and just his in-ring commentary, like as he's having a match, is some of the best shit ever. That whenever Roman calls somebody a bitch or tells somebody it's his fucking house, it's just you believe him. You know what I mean? You're like, that's that nigga's house.
And it's ad-lib too. Gerald.
Yeah, I was about to say you can tell it's off the cuff. You can tell he's really just saying shit. It ain't. He didn't think about this ahead of time. No one told him to say this shit.
It's like he told Sammy, you hear them, Sammy? They want Jay, but they ain't got Jay, Sammy, because of you. And I'm like,
I mean,
he just cut the camera. The one time Kevin Dunn don't change the camera is Roman speaking. Like, oh,
look, I'm making another casual conversation swerve, but we're staying in wrestling though. MJF's promo. Did you guys get Katie Vick vibes? Him talking about she was passed out. I switched seats with that bitch so she'd go to jail, so I didn't. Like, did y'all get?
Feel about some rest to that promo too.
I like the promo.
To do that promo.
Over Jay Briscoe. Jay Briscoe, the car accident just happened. I saw that, but I still liked it. But I understand what people are saying though.
Yeah, I said the family didn't care.
Yeah, I was going to say, if Mark Briscoe didn't have anything to say about it, or Papa Briscoe,
no problem with it. He just being quiet. It might.
Yeah, but I don't. I feel like if there was a problem with it, somebody close would have said something. Do you see Caprice Coleman not saying something, bro? Caprice Coleman going in on Twitter, fucking.
Everybody saying that's Liv Morgan because they went to the same high school. And her name
that would be fire, bruh. That would be if it was Liv. If we look at Liv's record and she got a prior drunk driving, and the thing is that the way MJF's so smart, if he was telling this, if it was in the time frame that he said it was, the statute of limitations is up. He can't get in trouble for saying this. I checked, and in New Jersey, where he's from, 5 years. That's the fucking cutoff. In his timeline, this would have been the timeline he gave us. This would have been at least 6 to 7 years ago. So we're past statute of limitations. So, I mean, that's just attention to detail that I love. He's like, I ain't gonna tell him myself for something that I can still be charged with. So even if it was real, he's got the OJ defense at this point.
But I think he's using Liv because she knew that Liv went to high school in the same place.
Yeah, but I mean. Hey, shout out to MJF if he knocked down Liv Morgan before she got to WWE. Shout out to him.
think Enzo did too.
Yeah, shout out to hey, you can't blame the niggas.
It's,
Hey,
it's an
hey,
amazing-
if Liv Morgan came a calling, I'm pretty sure every nigga in this call is gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and Gerald, the married man over there, he even gonna admit it. He's not
why you put Gerald out here like this, man?
well, because Gerald. Listen, when it comes to, I'm a scumbag. My words mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. Gerald is a man of morals. Gerald is an
Leave Gerald
upstanding
alone.
gentleman. Gerald's a family man. People are Gerald's words are just going to hold more weight than mine. That just is what it is. If Gerald said, "Yeah, I'm slapping two," niggas know it's real.
I don't know nothing Gerald said. If Gerald ladies are watching, I didn't hear him say nothing. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know. Leave
I
Gerald
just
alone.
said Gerald is a good. How you
I
gonna say?
have no
I just said
clue.
the niggas. He's an upstanding gentleman. We all know he's. Black men don't cheat. Remember? Isn't
That's the
it?
only thing I heard right there. This whole thing.
That's right. That's right.
But I'm just saying, if Gerald was a single male and he had the
Okay,
chance
this
to
better.
knock down Liv Morgan, he's gonna knock
heard
down
this.
Liv Morgan.
I heard that's what I heard. I heard Gerald is if he was a single man, he would. Okay, I heard this.
Exactly. Y'all the ones putting the connotation on the fact that I didn't say Gerald. You should go out and cheat on your old lady with Liv Morgan. Right.
I didn't
Get
know
out
what you
there.
mean. I didn't hear none of it. What you mean? I didn't hear none of that conversation.
I'm just saying. I'm just
I
saying.
don't know what you talking about. I heard nothing.
But no,
You want to
MJF.
Y'all can't hit that
To
first.
segue us back on course, MJF's attention to detail, back on course of the redirection that I put us into, if we're going to be honest. I just think MJF's attention to detail in these promos is next level, bro. Can we agree on that? Yes?
100%.
I mean,
Second best
that
in the
kid
game.
got
Roman.
Yeah.
Roman gaslight his brothers was so good. That's how I believe my story. I'm gonna just tell them what I told everybody. I think everybody's leaving the bloodline at WrestleMania. They just gonna leave him alone.
Yeah, bro, I could see it falling apart. Like I think WrestleMania is the final fall off. I think that the Usos lose the tag belts, Solo takes an L, and Roman loses the belts all in both nights of WrestleMania. I think we just see the ultimate downfall of his empire. Then that gives him time to go away for a little bit, and he can come back and be as evil as he wants to whenever he wants to after that.
One thing though, Tori. One thing. I don't want Solo losing.
Okay.
I do want him to break away from the bloodline though.
I think he can. I think he will.
He might have to take an L to break away, though.
It started Friday. No, I can see him doing it without him losing though.
Really? Okay. Well, I want to hear
So
this then.
Roman yelled at Solo. Solo looked at him like this. What? Who you yelling at?
Yeah.
If they can find a way, I don't want him
Yeah,
losing.
and he yelled at Jimmy, and then he bought him food like a black parent. Like I know, I admonished you. Here's some food.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just made some fried chicken, though, dog.
Hey.
But he like,
You can't be mad, nigga. You can't be mad when your mama show up with the chicken and macaroni and cheese. Fucking, you can't be mad no more after that.
So bad, bro, and it's hilarious. How
Some cornbread on the side too, yo. I ain't mad no more. I take an ass whooping for that plate any day of the week.
Jared, that's why I thought that, Jared. That's why I'm like, bro. He yelled at Solo and Jimmy. Why you can't find Jay? And you know when the Uso lose, he gonna yell at them before this. That's why they gotta be the first night. Second night, he gotta
okay, so if Solo breaks, you think Solo breaks away? Because at the end of the day, he is the Uso's little brother. You know what I mean? He is Roman's cousin, but he's a Uso at the end of the day, if we're being literal about the sense. You know what I mean?
Does he have a match for who
I don't think he's got a match at WrestleMania as of yet. He's the only bloodline member that doesn't.
I think the Uso gonna leave first. Solo gonna walk out during the match, and then Paul might walk out, which might.
Ooh,
I don't know about
Paul leaving would be interesting. See, because in my vision, it's just Roman and Paul at the end. But that, Paul. And it's full circle. It's back to how this run started. When it first started, it was just Roman and.
At the end tour. Because Paul's the first that showed up.
Oh, so he should be the last to leave.
Roman refused Paul to give him the belts or something, and Paul just walk off.
Ooh.
And then Cody just
and then he
Oh,
Yeah,
that reaction
that
on the
could be. They talk about poignant moments. That could be one.
and then when Paul walking away, Roman on his knee, I made you, I brought you back. And then Cody just standing behind him. And Cody get up, that slow get up. Ooh,
Ring
that
the
crowd
bell.
nuts.
I could definitely see it.
Then he
But
go help
that's the beautiful way. That's the beautiful thing about this story is because if we want to be for real, there are so many different outs that we can
It's
all
so
be satisfied with.
That's how you know the story is so good because there's so many outs you can do. You can do
Exactly.
something bad, like
And
it's just
all of them feel good. That doesn't happen too often.
Let's
every
go
last
Roman
one.
the Ultimate. I like how people give everybody credit. I'm like, without Roman, none of this works. And I don't think I
Yeah.
see a lot of people say, "Who can you put in with Sami Zayn that could change it?" You could put nobody but Sami Zayn.
Nobody but Roman could fill this position. This dynamic is completely exclusive to them.
Somebody with Jenny Gargano, I'm like, Jenny ain't comedy enough.
No.
He can do comedy,
He's
but I
also
was Jenny getting
he's
bullied.
also not as well loved enough. Don't get me wrong. Everybody loves Johnny Wrestling, but not like we loved El Generico, not like we loved Sami Zayn, not like he was the underdog from the underground. But if you think about it, he was never really an underdog. Fucking Sami Zayn has been a champion in everything but name since he fucking got here.
Somebody said AJ Styles. AJ Styles way too much of a pit bull to take Roman shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's just not believable enough.
AJ
As
Styles
soon
will
as
fight
we go back to the scared look on Roman's face when AJ Styles debuted, since we decided not to fucking put the camera on the debuting hero coming in, we put the camera on Roman Reigns, and he looked like he shit himself. So I mean, that's what we would get from putting
I'm
AJ
like,
Styles in there.
I don't see nobody in wrestling that it works with. It's like,
No, Sammy was it, bro. Like,
And Roman's
and
right
Roman
there.
even said it for the beginning of the story when he was in 2020. Like, Sammy's that guy who you love, but you don't want around.
did you guys see the way Takeshita hit that blue thunder bomb on MJF? That was some vintage Sami Zayn type shit right there. It was perfect. That was one of the best blue thunder bombs I've ever seen. Sorry, as you were,
That's my favorite moves. That's all I understand.
I was so
yeah,
happy that they won a match the other day.
but Takeshita, man, I feel so bad that he had to be the one to get caught blading because that match was so fucking good. Like him versus MJF was just a good wrestling match.
I got a question for y'all. Where does Coda go?
He put up AEW and WWE.
I was going to say he just said that he could see himself going to either, and any place would take him. Let's be honest. Any place Coda wants to go, they're going to take him. Whether it's AEW, whether it's WWE, Impact, GCW, fucking RO, any place where Kota Ibushi wants to go, I don't think they're going to tell him no.
My only thing with WWE though, would they be able to present him like he should be?
I mean, if you
got a problem with foreigners, always.
Yeah, and that would come down to, I think that would come down to, and I hate that I say this for every person that doesn't speak English, but you give them the right manager, they work wonders. It helps. It really does. So I could say, man, Kota Ibushi, I think back, like I said, he's on the list if you watched the show before. My most underrated match of all time is Kota Ibushi versus Kendrick, versus Brian Kendrick at the Cruiserweight Classic. Most underrated wrestling match ever. It's so good. And like the thing is, Kota Ibushi can do that with anybody. Kota Ibushi versus Roman Reigns is a banger. Kota Ibushi versus Seth Rollins is a banger. Kota Ibushi versus freaking Randy Orton, if he ever comes back, is a banger. I saw Matt Riddle just got out of rehab. Good for him. Give me Kota Ibushi versus Matt Riddle. I'll watch that. I'll watch Kota, and in the same breath, in even in the same breath in AEW, of course, there's a lot more matches over in AEW that we have seen before. We've seen Kota Ibushi versus Hangman. We've seen Kota Ibushi versus Kenny Omega. We've seen Kota Ibushi versus John Moxley. Like, if he does go someplace, I hope it's WWE because there's a lot more new matches there than there are in AEW.
It depends on how they look and how they want to present him. And I presume it's the wrestling legend. I think that was the thing.
Yeah.
I think that was the thing Vince missed with Shinsuke.
Yeah,
Man,
he didn't get how big Shinsuke was. Like Shinsuke Nakamura is a strong style legend. This nigga was the Michael Jackson of Japan, of Japanese wrestling for a very
It was
long
fire
time.
entrance in 2018 WrestleMania.
Bruh, his
That
entrance was
fire.
so good.
oh,
But even
NXT.
but
Then
look at his New Japan. Do y'all remember after people forget he single handedly he made it to where the IWGP Intercontinental Championship was more important than the heavyweight championship. He outshined the Rainmaker. He outshined Okada. He outshined Tanahashi. He outshined all of these fucking legends. Like I'll never forget. That nigga got carried out by a bunch of bad bitches on a palanquin, bruh. That's different. That's where MJF got it from when he had all them bitches carry him out. Shinsuke Nakamura did that shit first. Wrestle Kingdom in the fucking Tokyo Dome.
I'm just talking about just WB
Well,
only.
nigga, I'm talking about farther back.
Bro, I'm just talking about that. You got people. I saw that rated as like a top 10 WrestleMania entrances of all time when that
And it was,
2018.
but that's the thing. He's had doper entrances than that in New Japan. But that entrance was a taste of how he did it in New Japan, and it was super dope.
What? Bianca Belair have dope entrances.
Man, she skips.
I like the WrestleMania.
Her
Having a
skipping to
band.
the ring doesn't do it for me, but I understand
I'm just talking
all
about
the
the band.
power.
Band is
Yeah, the choir. She's had a band. She's had a choir. I'm sure at WrestleMania she'll get a band and a choir.
Bobby Roode's NXT entrances was tight too.
Yo, Glorious was one of the
That's
best intro songs ever,
I've ever heard. Love Glory.
bruh. That's Seth Rollins level of over with me when it comes to intros. Bobby Roode's NXT intro, just that
Wow.
when you hear just a glorious, you're just like, damn, you know what it is.
Just greatness. Oof.
Seth
See, though,
Rollins.
man, you were worried about the show going short, bruh. Never gonna happen when we're talking about wrestling.
Seth Rollins entrance against Logan is gonna be crazy because you know they're gonna try to
Yeah.
copy.
Oh, I'm so ready for it, bruh. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul WrestleMania banger,
Of course. And
banger.
it's crazy because Seth is
Somebody said
doing
Kane
so
about to have
much
his
right
first
now.
celebrity 5-star match.
Yeah.
Oh, if Logan Paul gets a 5-star match on his 4th match ever,
Hey,
that's a record. Gotta be.
He was 4.75 with Roman, so at 30 almost.
yeah. I mean, he close. Like when it comes to
Real
celebrity,
close.
I mean, Pat McAfee is my number one at the moment. But if
I want to
Logan,
see Pat versus Logan so bad.
bad, I've been wanting that. So the Pat came back, I was like, please do that, please.
Let's set it up at Mania. Triple H, I know you're watching. After Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul, bruh, just listen to me. You gotta have Pat intervene in some way, shape, or form. We setting up freaking Pat McAfee versus freaking Logan Paul at Crown Jewel this year. Let's do it. Do it in Saudi. Tell me Saudi Arabia is not the perfect place for Logan Paul versus Pat McAfee.
It's perfect. They love Logan, and I mean Pat McAfee.
They will learn to love Pat because he's
Yeah.
good in the ring. Pat versus fucking Adam Cole, bruh.
That's such good.
Pat's war game match was better than most niggas' modern day war game performances.
Yeah.
And they would probably do anything, and Pat would probably be in the.
I can see Pat and Logan going dumb together. Like I could see them both being like, "Yo, we haven't been," but niggas forget. Pat McAfee was trained by Rip Rogers in good old Indianapolis, one of the best. The man ran Smoky Mountain Wrestling, fucking had a hand in starting OVW, all the way up until Florida Championship Wrestling. Fucking Pat McAfee's been trained in one of the best places in old school wrestling ever, right here in the great state of Indiana. So I mean, he got the juice.
What if Logan improved the way he improved against the same way he improved from his second and third, the way he improved his third and fourth? That's gonna be insane.
Yo, then Pat's gonna have to bring it. If Logan Paul gets any better, fucking, you gonna have to start putting that nigga in there with nothing but main. Yeah.
The only thing that sucks about Pat McAfee wrestling that would suck is just you don't get to hear him.
Yeah, you don't get the commentary. And that's it. Yeah, his voice is so good for
It's
wrestling.
just made for it. Like, I mean, I ain't seen nobody that happy since Mario Ronaldo.
Like he feels like, and that's what's so good because he feels like it's one of us commentating. Like it's like if
Mm-hmm.
one of us were on there. He is just as enamored. You can't tell me niggas pop when Brock Lesnar shows up and he's like the alpha male of our species. You're like, yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
Yo,
agree.
Niven,
Yeah,
Niven.
Piper Niven. Do you know what you like, Brad?
Like,
Let's
how he know?
go.
Like
He said he
he's
didn't
just
know who that was. He like, I only knew Dewdrop, so I just started yelling Piper Niven over and over for fun.
Yeah. But and like I said, Pat's always gonna have a special because he was trained here in Indiana. Rip Rogers has been a staple in the wrestling industry for so long. Um, he had a big part in running like Evansville. They were a really big wrestling town in the state, and he had a lot to do with that. So of course, Bruiser Brody, freaking big part of Indiana wrestling, big wrestler all over the world. Da 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 da. But yeah, so I'm
Like,
always gonna root for Pat.
automatically the best match of the weekend, no matter what. But then I like if they do Sheamus, Drew versus Gunther.
That's a triple threat that's going to be for the ages, bruh.
I don't know. People gonna have to bring it. Um, Roman and Cody might have to bring it wrestling wise, but the story just gonna be amazing. You can tell.
Oh yeah, the story's gonna carry that, but it won't hurt that the two wrestlers in the match are top tier as it
Cody might
is.
have a tear come down his eye. That one tear
Oh,
just coming like,
bruh, he's gonna have a one tier moment, holding up both of the belts, single tier. Fucking, this will win. This will be the first time we get to see Brandy on WWE TV. She'll come out with Little Liberty and fucking yo. It's gonna be a
you know how the
moment.
show gonna end. I already told you how I thought the show gonna end. Roman, everybody left him, and he's gonna be in the corner. And Michael come like Roman Reigns is all alone with his hands in his face, like you.
I
And
was
it's
gonna
gonna be
say,
a callback.
all alone on the island of relevancy.
And you know there's gonna be a callback. And the reason I say he's gonna end with his hand in his head, it's gonna be the same thing he did when he did Jey Uso like that. When he
Yeah,
choked out Jimmy, it's gonna be a callback to when he did that, and he's gonna be outside doing the same thing. I'm like, that's a good callback.
but it'll
That'll be
work.
amazing into the Bloodline story though. It started with him. The Bloodline started with him doing his cry like this, and the end.
That might be too. I don't know. That might be too subtle though. I don't know how. I don't know how far front and center that memory is in people's minds, bruh.
Tor, I've seen this story so many times on YouTube. They got
I'm just saying, bruh. Well, I'm just saying from my point of view. I'm saying I don't know how
Roman, I
poignant
thought about
that
because a
one
bunch of people
moment
was
is.
showing
Like you got to think that was one time, and like we're 2 years past that now, damn near three. Like, but either way, we know. Like I said, that's the beautiful thing about this story. So many different satisfying outs that it's not fun.
somebody asked on Twitter, "What if Roman win?" I'm like, I would be mad.
I was gonna say, well, I mean, I'd be angry, but
I wouldn't. I like. Well, how y'all gonna end?
I would be. I need Cody to get this W. I'd be a little disappointed, but it wouldn't. There's a difference between whether you'd be happy about it and whether it'd be bad wrestling. I don't think it'd be bad wrestling or bad television if Roman won, but I wouldn't be happy about it as a fan.
That is true. But I'm interested in where they're going. This story is amazing.
I was gonna
I'm looking
say. I
forward
mean,
to
it's
it.
been 3 years in the making, and we're coming up on what we perceive could be the final stretch. So
LA Knight come out. Jay White versus LA Knight. Be great.
yeah, breathe with the switchblade, baby. That would be epic.
Look at
I'm
that.
actually. Have you seen Jay White's promo that he did about Hikuleo with this loser leaves Japan match? It was really good. I'm gonna watch it. Jay White versus Hikuleo, loser leaves Japan. I think it's on the same night that we've got freaking Mercedes versus Kyrie. So final battle of the Valley, whatever that shit's called. It's
Who
gonna
does
be
Bray
dope to
Wyatt?
watch.
One last question, because you know he's gonna show up. Who is Bray Wyatt facing at WrestleMania?
I don't know.
Can I say something?
Uncle Howdy?
Can I say something controversial?
Finish the story.
Oh, always.
Royal Rumble soured me on Bray Wyatt.
I kind of agree. They did a lot and produced a little, but it it wasn't. Can I say this? It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it wasn't good. Don't get me wrong. Uncle Howdy
What you
taking
doing,
the
man? George?
Uncle Howdy taking the diving elbow. I'll never forget looking at LA Knight. He tried so hard to get underneath that fucking elbow,
He was frozen, boy. He was moving.
bruh. He tried so hard to get underneath that fucking elbow for Uncle Howdy, and the explosion was off center. Like,
I'd rather see LA Knight in a spot of WrestleMania than Bray Wyatt at this point, and it's just because
Bray Wyatt has some redeeming to do, no doubt. If we're going to keep on pushing him as a main event player and not just somebody else on the card, there's got to be some improvement. I'm willing to show a little bit of grace just because of how vehemently. But y'all were here when I first said I'm tired of this nigga talking in circles. I need him to show up and perform. This first time, it didn't get me off. I ain't gonna lie. I sound like a woman who is unsatisfied in bed. But I'm gonna give Bray another shot, bruh. Like, hopefully, if he doesn't have a decent showing at Elimination Chamber or fucking somewhere along that line, I don't want to see the nigga at WrestleMania. If you can't give me some,
I want LA Knight to have a spot so bad.
I don't know if he's going
yeah, LA Knight deserves it. Like, LA Knight showed out during this whole feud. The whole goddamn every arena saying, yeah. I mean,
LA Knight should
it is what it is.
the Continental title from Gunther as Gunther ascends to the main event.
I don't. That would mean LA. Do you want LA Knight as the babyface then? Because Gunther's never going to be a babyface. That's just not him.
Ever. Yeah, he is just pure hatred.
He's a heel. He is a heel.
See, I don't.
So you see, yeah. Do you want to do a heel
like
versus
like
heel?
the host, and he just beat the host. So yeah, dummy.
I'm so happy that LA Knight hasn't. Can I just say, I'm so happy LA Knight doesn't have a fucking talk show yet, and I hope he never gets one.
No, he don't need one.
I need the dummy button.
No.
Dummy. Dummy. Tell me you didn't love the dummy button.
Yeah.
Dummy.
Yeah.
Dummy.
I just.
Oh, y'all getting Billy Crystal because when she turned 18, AEW and WWE finally allowed her to sign her.
Who, Billy Starks?
Yeah, Billy Stark.
Yeah. Hey, she's had some good showing. I watched her on AEW Dark. I watched her on Elevation a couple times. She's looking good. She's got a she's in the Jersey Cup Wrestling tournament going on this weekend. Lots of cool little independent stuff going on. I think she's taking on the dude that's supposed to be like Charles Manson. I can't remember what his name is, but I hope she gives him a. She's another one. Like I said, Billy was trained here in good old Indiana. She was a staple at Naptown Pro Wrestling. It's an indie wrestling promotion that's here in the state. They're actually really good. So shout out to Naptown All Pro. They're really good. And Billy got trained there, and I'm just ready to watch her take off, bro. Whether it's on, hopefully it's not AEW. But hopefully this time next year we see Billy Starks make her NXT debut and just show the fuck out. She's getting ready to graduate from high school this year. She's taking a little break after the Jersey All-Pro so she can finish up her senior projects and shit. But it's a real – what if she decides to go to college and not wrestle? That could be a thing.
She can get NIL from WWE.
I'll say WWE got a college program.
If that's what they – and I'm all for that. If that's what happens, I'm all for it. Like I said, anytime I can see some locally trained talent on a larger scale, I'm here for it. Because people disrespect Indiana's wrestling roots, but this was a really big wrestling state back in the day.
Final thing, then we're going to get out of here. We're going to give match of the week and all this stuff. But – Toxic Attraction is actually thriving without Mandy Rose. I was worried they wouldn't.
Yeah, they're doing much better than I thought they would.
I thought
that kick was stiff, though. JC Jane's kick to Gigi Dolan was crazy, bro. But it gives her a couple weeks off so she can get rid of the black eye and everything.
JC Jane said, "You look like you had sex with Chucky," and I laughed.
Gigi, but I think Gigi can pull off babyface though. I think she could.
Yeah.
Makes you good too. Gerald, she said you like you had sex with Chucky. I said HBK said he don't care about this book. He'll say whatever.
Yeah.
HBK, my quiet runner for Booker this year.
He
Quiet.
got to do a little bit more. He got to do a little bit more.
It's been stronger since he got his UK boys back though.
Yeah, with that, especially with, like I said, with JD McDonough, he's doing so good. I like what I've seen from JD McDonough. I heard Ilya's back. I'm never gonna not want to see Ilya Dragunov wrestle. That kid's golden. Braun Breakers looked amazing. He always does. We're all awaiting his main roster arrival.
Match was incredible.
Because tell me you guys don't want to see Braun Breaker versus Cody Rhodes at some point. Tell me that's, bro, come on. Like, and even Roxanne Perez, my God, we know the girl's got talent. When she gets on the main roster, her versus Bayley, her versus Becky, her versus Bianca, her versus Charlotte, her versus Dakota Kai, her versus Io Shirai. I mean, the list goes on and on. So I'm definitely excited. Though I don't, you notice I didn't mention Carmelo Hayes though.
Tori, you gotta watch that match.
I ain't watching. I don't like Carmelo Hayes. I just don't, bruh.
Tori, you about the only person I've ever seen say that.
Well, I'm okay with that. The kid does not rev my engine.
Gerald, he did that little thing where he do the dribble like MVP. Yeah. JD kicked the ball. I
did watch some of that JD McDonough match though.
JD is so good though.
Yeah, JD McDonough, that kid, he's a star.
He is so good. Him and Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate was the plainest dude I've ever seen in my life. He'd be a megastar. Tyler Bate look like the regular dude you walk up the street and see every day.
It's fucked up because Tyler Bates looks like the quintessential like British dude that when you think about British dudes, it's sort of he's got that default face. Sort of like sort of like how Johnny Gargano has the default white guy face. Like that's why they call him Johnny Same Face.
Yeah.
I watch too much Jim Cornette, but I see what he's saying.
Jack Gallagher had that.
Tyler Bate is even more than Johnny Gargano. Tyler Bate look like the little dude you make on a video game when you first.
He does. I was gonna say he does look like the goddamn base creator character.
Tyler Bate is the most.
He is the creator wrestler. But I'm not gonna lie. As I've seen, did you guys see all the NXT? NXT is getting some real love in this WWE 2K23. I'm waiting for pre-orders. I don't know if I can pre-order yet, but I'm gonna as soon as I can, and hopefully the roster's worth it. It's looking good though. Braun Breaker, Roxanne, Tyler Bates been in there, so we know he's gonna be in there. Hopefully JD McDonough makes the cut. Ilya this time's gonna be in there. I mean, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, shout out to them. I think last season was just a staple, and then I think I like the new kick-out system more than the
they fixed it. 2K20 was so fucking bad, and 2K22 was sort of the reboot, and they've got a good little base, and it looks like 2K23 is just going to be building onto that, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But it's just, man, I might have to miss some podcasts because there are so many video games coming out that like I'm gonna have to beat. Because like I said, after tomorrow I'm gonna start Hogwarts Legacy. So who knows how long I'm gonna be in that?
Jared, I might be gonna miss his own show.
I will try my best not to miss casual conversations, but we'll see how this whole Hogwarts Legacy adventure goes. I'm not gonna make any promises, but letting everybody know now. If I'm not there on Wednesday, just know I'm casting spells.
Shout out to, we ain't gonna be able to do that show, but shout out to House Phone and
shout out to House Phone and Blasey. It seems like it was an amicable split over at No Jumper.
Which, according to Adam, he was never hired, so I didn't fire
him. I was gonna say, if the nigga was never getting paid, then I mean, be happy you got the look, nigga.
I fired him, bro. I never hired you.
Yeah.
You don't get paid here. They just asked you to show up on screen.
We
told you don't show up on screen no more, dog. He's like, I got fired on my day off on Black History Month. Dad, I'm like, bro,
Nigga,
you
you didn't even really get. And man, but that's the thing. That's the thing.
never
Shout out
hired.
to. I don't think House Phone and Blasey are giving Yuri a big deal for staying at No Jumper either. So I think that's super cool too.
I think you
Fucking
said House Phone said, man, do you, man? I'm going
yeah. But I understand completely why House Phone left too. Like I understand why he couldn't be there anymore.
does before we get off, does Adam hire Destiny to become once a month for a show?
Maybe if Destiny was amenable to it, I think Adam would because it would sort of it'd give him that inroad to the political space that I feel like he's been looking for.
Yeah, he been wanting to do it with the news too when he there. He always want to talk about something.
Yeah, but the news streams have been banging. He found something, bruh. Them motherfuckers pulling 10K live viewers consistently Monday through Friday, bruh. He found a good little fucking.
They gotta talk about.
No, but I'm saying it's been like that since they started the news live stream. Because originally it was just them getting rid of the Monday show, and they decided to start doing it every day because they realized that there's not a midday news stream that comes on in the mid afternoon that people want to watch. Filling the market,
and we can get out of here.
huh?
Match of the week.
Bryan Danielson versus Roosh.
I have the same one. Sure.
I'm gonna go with Takashi and
MJF. Yeah, that was a good one.
I saw highlights. It was like, okay, it's just MJF doing something different.
Yo, when he landed on his feet on the lariat flip out off the top rope, I was like, this nigga just showing out now. He's like, just because I don't do the flippy shit don't mean I can't do the flippy shit. Like that was being flippy without being flippy, and I'm here for that.
I also want to give a shout out to Dijak versus Wesley that happened Saturday.
I've heard some decent things about that match. I haven't really looked.
That would have been my. If them two matches didn't happen, that would be my. That would have been it. That's my match of the week in WWE.
A nasty finger,
Wesley,
Yeah.
Dijak.
Bryan Danielson versus Roosh was so fucking good though. Them niggas, Roosh showed the fuck out. There's a reason that nigga was the Ring of Honor world champion twice. Like he got to really. Bryan Danielson did a good job of showcasing Roosh's talents in that match.
I'm happy Wesley got love.
And bro, he's had the lamest North American Championship run ever, as I've heard it. I haven't been watching, but from what I've seen people say,
that match with Dijak was really good.
yeah. But I'm saying people aren't speaking that great of his reign overall. I've heard that there have been way better North American title runs, and that kind of sucks because it's not like the North American title's only 5 years old, maybe.
I thought Dijak might should have won that.
It probably would have been better on Dijak, but I think that's the only belt he's ever won. Of course, he won it back when he was Dominic Dijakovic, but
like Miller about to beat Brian at Stand and Deliver, and Brian's moving up after WrestleMania.
I'm here for it. Like I said, you can give me Braun Breaker versus Cody Rhodes any day of the week. Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns. Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins. Braun Breaker versus Bobby Lashley. Braun Breaker versus Brock Lesnar. Braun Breaker versus Braun Strowman. I mean, whatever.
Do we get Grayson Waller versus Shawn Michaels at Stand and Deliver?
No. Shawn needs to stay out of the ring, bruh. Even though, arguably, you go back, you look at goddamn Crown Jewel 2018, Brother of Destruction, DX, horrible match. Only person that looked like they remotely knew what they were doing in that match was HBK, though. Undertaker, Kane, and Triple H all looked fucking wild in that match. At least HBK held it together the best, which was no one expected that.
But we're out of here. I appreciate y'all for watching. Remember, the QR code is right there. Go click that.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. I just realized that Zelmay's been Unico Williams this whole time. But
I'm trying to get some followers. Let's go.
Don't forget Casual Conversations every Wednesday. If I'm not there, I'm somewhere in Hogwarts doing hood rat shit. Peace.
Might have to call Gerald. Peace. And as y'all know, if y'all don't know,